Well, no, on the flip side of Ian's question, I wanted to ask everybody, what is the area that your partner needs to mature in?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Ooh, first?
Let's go.
Hello? Rim?
Hello, Ram.
Parks has a tendency to not be the most empathetic with his tone. It's not that he says the wrong things, but the way he says things sometimes, and he knows this, like I've constantly had to bring it up, like you are not talking to me nicely.
I thought you were going to say farting outside of the bathroom, but
yeah,
you want the tone, okay.
No, I'm being serious. No, yeah, your tone sometimes, you're just not the nicest to me. But this is like a constant thing that I have to remind him of.
Like all the time, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it reoccurring?
It's reoccurring.
I haven't learned yet.
No.
I'm a work in progress.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. I want to read a comment that I got the other day on a video that I made about Parks. Shout out to DJ V Rich. I have been saying this since the R&M split. Parks is shady as and that's why him and Joe get along so well. He's extremely passive aggressive, and it comes from a place of misery. I don't think Parks has the happiest life at home, and he comes to work and takes it out on the people, especially a woman, because he has misdirected anger towards his girl and taking it out on Mel. This is just an assumption, but I feel I'm spot on. Well, brother, I do too. And slowly but surely, Ram is going to start unveiling the cloak that Parks has held up for so long. And everybody comes at me and says that I'm crazy. Leave Parks alone. Stop talking about Parks in this manner. He does too much for the pod. Woo-de-woo. But it's all a facade. And it's one that you could easily see straight through. I've been saying for a hot second now that Parks has been demeaning, that Parks has a snarky and snide attitude, and for whatever reason, people don't pick up on it. I think people have picked up on it, and Rim is letting me know. People have immediately picked up on it. She told us, I have persistently told this nigga, I don't want you to speak to me in this manner. She said it. It's not even what he's saying is wrong. It's how he says it. And I've said this numerous times. Why does Parks cut someone off and then just say something as if it's factual and finite? This is the end all be all. Now let's move on to the next topic. He does that often. And that's what made me start saying Parks has equity in the JBP. It's how he carries himself. Because initially, if y'all go back to my older videos, it was me saying, I hope Parks has equity. It seems like Parks has equity. He does too much to not have equity. But now you see how he carries himself and how he shuts everyone up, how he shuts everyone down, how he segues topics. Oh, this is just Parks. And it might have exaggerated because now he has money to back it. And I'm Grammy award-winning Parks, not just Parks, the one that used to get confused with Parks and Rec, the one that had other females leaving me for Jeff Goldblum. That shit is over with. I'm not saying he's abusive to Rim. Please don't take this as he is misogynist at the crib or anything of the sort. No, he treats everyone the same. It's just, why is he able to treat people in this manner? And I know I'm constantly talking about equity and contracts and behind the scenes when it comes to the JBP, but it makes you think, why are people able to speak to people in certain manners? Why are people able to treat people in certain manners? It got amplified because he started doing it to Mel way more often than we were accustomed to seeing. And normally Parks was one for the one-liners. But I said this initially. When you're a one-line king, it's because in your head, I'm going to say this and I know everyone's going to laugh. I know this is funny. You got to have some narcissistic traits to get these one-lines off. People put thought in the one-lines. People aren't just naturally funny. I'm just playing. People are naturally funny, but not in that manner. So, Rim is telling us that Parks has an attitude problem that needs an adjustment because he thinks he's right all the time. That's why she threw that in there. It's not because what he's saying is wrong. So he thinks he's right all the time. He's showing us these same traits on the pod. People are making decisions on the pod, and he's openly chastising these decisions. He calls Flip out all the time. He speaks to Flip derogatorily as if Flip was a child, as if they're not the same age, as if Flip doesn't have kids and a wife and a family and hasn't had this for 20 plus years. That's how Parks speaks to Flip. Parks is a yes man to Joe because in order to have this power that he has to say yes to the person that's putting money in his pocket. Now that we know Parks is the one that brought Ian aboard, in his head, I'm the reason that the JBP makes money now because I put Joe in touch with the right people. I made the right connections. So all of this being said, it makes sense why he carries himself like that. The question is, would the JBP manage without Parks? Would the JBP be able to ascend without Parks? Would the JBP be better with Parks still as the producer and less on the pod? Because over time, and I'm not going to drop this, so over time, enough people are going to hear what I'm saying to where they'll turn on Parks. And it's not because I want them to turn on Parks. More people are going to start paying attention to how he treats everyone. Parks has he's always escaped the microscope. He's always been able to escape it. Whenever he does anything to anyone, it's just Parks. He's not even like that. What? Please go back to the last 3-4 months of podding on the JBP Patreon main episode. It doesn't matter. Parks has been going crazy in a Parks way. But if you don't catch up on the subtle shots that he's throwing in your direction, you'll just think Parks is just being funny old Parks. Meanwhile, he's chopping at the bit. Every time he gets a chance, he's shooting in your direction. And you don't even realize it. And nothing's going to happen to him because Joe persistently says, oh, Parks is a good guy. Parks is a good guy. And it makes more sense now because Joe said it out his own mouth like a year ago that he used to get on Parks' ass because Parks used to fuck up. But since he brought the money in, the way Parks treats me as a yes man, I'm treating that Parks the same way behind the scenes. I'm treating Parks the same way behind the scenes. Parks isn't just doing all this because he wants to, and his actions at his house show me that. Based out of his own wife's mouth, you gonna do whatever the fuck he wants to. Parks is not a yes man. He's just saying yes man because the money's coming in. And Joe, you're the face behind it. But 48 Laws of Power, go read the book. Parks he's doing everything. He's executing like 7 laws all in one motion. And he's able to hide behind the facade that the quote-unquote master, the quote-unquote leader has built for him. Because if Joe didn't cut for Parks in the way that he cut for him, we wouldn't look at Parks in the way that we do. Notice that you haven't been hearing or reading in the comments that this is the best sounding podcast in the game anymore. People done caught up. Or Parks doesn't care about engineering as much as he does making a name for himself on the pod, showing his face on the pod. Parks was adamant, I don't want to be on the pod. Parks has his own cam. If you haven't noticed, when I take pics for this, you'll see Ish and Ice on the same couch, but they don't have their own solo cam. But every time you see a picture of Parks on the shit, it's just Parks. It's just Parks. He has his own solo cam. And the only reason Mel has her own solo cam is because she's next to Joe. And Joe has his own solo cam. So in order for us to be on the same couch in one shot, I have to have a cam, you have to have a cam. And that cam is your cam. We get both of us and it's just your solo cam. But I have my own camera. But a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is very, very telling. It's very, very telling. And as much as we think Parks is behind the scenes, he let it be known every time he went to the Grammys and how it was at the Grammys. And notice when people speak on the Grammys, how he treats that. Every time Joe says, I don't like the Grammys, everybody's saying Parks is a yes man. Go watch those clips back. What the fuck are you talking about, Joe? The Grammys isn't whatever you're saying it is. It's more than that. because I have a Grammy. Start paying attention to parks more. This was just a slow little cloak unveiling. Rim is just barely reaching the surface. And I noticed after I put this video out, I went back to the Pod Wives episode and they changed the description. I know for a fact because I screenshotted it. I knew they were going to change it. I was like, oh, I don't know if they meant this. I don't know if they meant this. Because initially it said season finale. Welcome back to another episode of Pod Wives. Season finale. But now it just says welcome back to another episode of Pod Wives. Hey, contract negotiations, I guess they were successful. Don't let Rim get more comfortable in front of the camera, Parks. She can quickly ruin the whole facade that you spent 10 years developing. Because it is a facade. This is not who you are. And I'm starting to see more and more and more of it. But since nobody calls you out, nobody notices it. Those days are over, sir. Hey, Rim, shout out to you for stepping up. And, hey, I'm never, ever, ever going to speak on the wives or the girlfriends of y'all. That's a promise. Even if I bring them up in the content, that's not my foray. I don't do that style of content. And I wish to God one of you stupid motherfuckers out there would do something to me and my significant other or my kids, especially my kids. But the only reason they're even being brought up is because y'all put it on y'all platform, and that's all this channel is based about. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hey, we got Patreon episodes coming out tomorrow. Have multiple episode drops coming out tomorrow. Until then, y'all be safe. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know what it is with us. We locked and loaded, baby. Summer, hey, multiple video summer. MVS. Y'all stay safe. Peace.